Hello, 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 everyone in the CCA. Welcome back to the CCA League. My name is Mizuno, and I am joined by Hydro tonight. Hydro, are you excited for this Div 2 matchup here that we have lined up tonight?
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think it's actually a Div 6 matchup. Div 6 matchup
What?
against OSU Gray and NCCS Llamas here tonight.
Man, I cannot count for the life of me. There are too many divisions. But nonetheless, this is going to be a really exciting Div 6 matchup between the ONSU Gray team versus the NCCS Llamas. Now, this is going to be a pretty important match for these teams as we are in reschedule week right now, and you need to get these wins if you want to make a chance into the playoffs.
Yeah, indeed. And actually, I did do a little bit of research into this group's score right now, and I think if Llamas win this, they are guaranteed playoffs. And if they don't, they may have. It's not exactly that they're out of the playoffs just yet, but it's going to be a lot harder for them. So, a little bit at stake at here in this match, Mizuno.
Right, exactly. With a lot on the line, the Llamas are going to have to really make sure that they play for points as well, which are per in the rule set going to determine specific tiebreakers as well. So they have to be careful in how many actual games that they win in the match as well. So definitely some really high stakes stuff for these teams. But nonetheless, Hydra, we're gonna kick it off. Game 1 into Mahi Mahi. Let's take a look at these comps and see what these teams are running here, Hydro.
Yeah, so we're seeing a few interesting comps on both sides already. We're seeing a pencil on one of them already, and a jet squelcher on the other here. I think that is blue as NCCS Llamas, and OSU is yellow in this case here, Mizuno.
That's right, Hydro. And this is going to be a really exciting match because I feel like whichever team is going to have the most effort in their pushes and have most special coordination, they're going to really come out on top.
And we're already starting to see a lot of fighting here. Two going down on the side of OSU here, but they're bringing it back right away. Zone going to the side of Llamas, however, I think they are holding it strong. Dead Like Me getting a pick here, going on the left side in mid. Falsetto being forced to retreat a little bit here, but waiting for the teammates to jump back in. And Mizuno, I think right now we're just finding picks in here, and yeah.
Right, exactly. And man, the Llamas are doing a really good job here of finding those picks and pushing back ONSU Gray here because Gray, like you pointed out, have to be careful and retreat to make sure that they get specials and numbers. Looks like the zone is going to flip back in their favor, however.
Yeah, and OSU definitely getting a bit of breathing room here to work with. However, it's looking like Llamas is not making it easy, and specials are being popped. Space is being cleared for Albie here to maybe move some in. Dead Like Me popping the crab and getting a pick over here, over on this left side. And I think Llamas is forcing their way back in. However, I think if OSU has anything to say with it, they're not letting this Llamas get this space for free.
Right, exactly. Really good play from Dead Like Me and Albie to get back that zone with that killer whale and crab tank combo. They're going to retain the zone here still for the Llamas as they look to potentially wind through that penalty clock.
This penalty clock is going down. It's still actually rather close here. Ray's definitely maybe making sure that, OSU doesn't get in free here. And the buoy bomb is being popped so that creates some space. However, I think Llamas is just essentially shutting down their advances and getting free map control here. This could look like a potential knockout here for NCCS Llamas here.
Right, exactly. And Dead Like Me with the crab take pushing back against that reef slider. Really good play here by Dead Like Me and using pressure from Rays on that long distance, but it's not going to be enough! Hydro, it's not enough!
It's not enough, and just like that, the zone flips back into control of OSU, make sure that this game is not over just yet. Annabelle definitely taking this enemy snipe here so that they're pressuring the enemy plat here. NCCS Llamas need to find a way back in, but OSU is not letting him have the space for free, Mizuno.
No kidding. They're slowly inching their way back in, however. The Llamas trying to get some points here. However, Dead Like Me goes down right as they got that reef slider. So while they do have the zone, they are able to finally tack on a penalty onto ONSU Gray. And Hydra, this is a very interesting back and forth here as we only have 2 minutes left on the clock.
2 minutes left on the clock, and it's quite back and forth. Falsetto getting a pick here. This could be the swing that ONSU not desperately needed, but however is needing to make sure that they stay alive in this match here. However, specials are being popped on the side of NCCS Llamas. Not finding a pick, and Albie does go down to the blaster here, and Rin is popping this booyah bomb to make sure that they stall for time here, making sure that clock does go down. Mizuno, what is going to happen?
What's going to happen is there's going to be more special coordination here from these teams. Great effort here from Albie putting on the pressure so that way their teammates can utilize their special, doing a great job as a brush. Oh my gosh, here, bro. Oh, Zoe here on this blaster has been putting in the work, getting those really 2 good kills, almost getting a 3rd there, but Dead Like Me on those dualies continuously coming in clutch here.
Dead Like Me's crab is being canceled by Falsetto. However, the trade does go back, and both are just fighting for space. Booyah Bomb is popped onto Snipe and does get quite a pick, I think, and this zone goes back to ONSU. This could be another potential flip here. But however, I think they're just fighting a lot more for space. Annabelle just stalling and does go down here. And this looks like another map control for Dead Like Me. And this could be a potential, with 30 seconds left on the clock, this could be its potential lockout. But I think ONSU does have the tools to get back in here, Mizuno.
I agree. Rin on that golden arrow spray, getting that booyah bomb is going to be crucial to getting that zone flipped back into their favor. And the tides are turning here for ONSU as Zoe's going to come here with the blaster, trying to pick off this brush, and they successfully get the trade. These are the types of things that ONSU Gray is going to need to continuously do for these next 10 seconds and into overtime. As
we're into overtime, we're going to be seeing a lot of specials being popped here, and a lot of specials trying to be forcing OSNSU out, and does look like Llamas do get the flip, bring their score to 1-0 in favors of Llamas.
Really good match from both of these teams, but you can kind of see some of the playmakers on some of these teams. Like on the Llamas, we kept calling out Albie and Dead Like Me because you could tell on multiple fronts they made a really good dynamic duo in creating different opportunities for their teammates. So that was really cool to see.
But I wouldn't quite count out Octos and Squids yet, because although Albie and Dead Like Me are on the side of Llamas, Falsetto and Annabelle and even Zoe showed a really good showing there, as well as Rin just providing those booyah bombs for cover and entry for OSU. However, I think they just didn't quite have enough time to hold the zone and allowed Llamas to flip it a little bit more, so in the end of the day, Llamas win that match.
Right, exactly. I think they had all the right tools in the toolbox, but just couldn't get things to quite click yet, I feel like sometimes there needs to be that, one step closer of utilizing their specials in the best way possible, right? And taking a look actually at our own prep sheets, one thing that ONSU Gray wanted to comment as part of their keys to victory was utilizing their specials in a smart way, right? And I think they're right on the cusp of doing so. It's just they got to take it one step further in capitalizing what comes out of those specials.
Yeah, indeed. And I think in this next match of Tower Inkblot, we can maybe see them potentially use that using specials in a smart way even better, because in order to even push the tower in some of these choke points, we're going to need to see some very smart special usage along with their positional advantage that they potentially get.
Good call out there, Hydro. All right, folks, game 2. I'm really curious what changes that these teams would make, because I think these teams can run a lot of different weapons. It looks like ONSU Gray, though, however, is going to kind of stick to what they know, and a couple of I think only one change on the side of the Llamas. If that, I think, oh, there we go. There's the Splash-O-Matic there. I think that's the only primary change there on the side of the Llamas.
So yeah, I think we have a Kumu now on the side of Llamas with a Splash, and now I'm curious to see what this change means, because earlier I think they had a Splat Dualies, but now they decided to offer another Crab Tank, but now with a Splash. What do you think that changes for Llamas here?
I think for the Llamas, that'll be a little bit more of an aggressive loadout, and hopefully a lot more paint coverage, since I feel that Inkblot TC can be deceptively large, and I feel like you need a lot of paint to really get things going, especially when you need to charge up these specials and move the tower objectively and use and capitalizing specials to move that tower through these specific checkpoints and these specific chokeholds.
Speaking of using these specials to get through his chokeholds, Falsetto using that splashdown to clear bats here, and making sure that OSU has some control. However, it does seem that OSU is having a little bit of struggle pushing that tower. However, as soon as I say that, they are starting to get some points on the board here, using that Booyah Bomb and that Reslider to continue their push here. Annabelle trying to get a few more points here, but does go down. It is now 3 down on the side of OSU, and this could be the chance for Llamas to push back here and get control of the game.
Good cleanup by the Llamas here, and they were able to hold them out to not get OSU past that second checkpoint there, which is huge. These checkpoints really matter on this map, since I feel like this tower can move like butter on this path. So really good defensive front on the side of the Llamas, but they have to answer back with something, right? They need to get through a couple of really good checkpoints here to rack up a safe lead on this map.
A safe lead is probably a knockout, but in this case, probably something around closer to 20 points is a quite safe lead. However, both teams not quite getting there yet, and OSU definitely putting a stop to Llama's push and making sure that they didn't get actually past through mid here. So this is a chance for OSU to just push back, fight back, get their specials out, and maybe find a few picks to make a push again without Llamas getting a lot of points on their own here. Rin going to pop that special, going towards bats, and Zoe just making use of that, definitely holding this top position here. However, it might seem that they get a few members of Llamas get through the slip of the cracks. I'll be getting a few picks, and just like that, I do think that the OSU's push is now over.
OSU did a really good push there, utilizing that cooler to jumpstart that push and keep it going. I really like their special cooler usage right now, and I think it's going to continue to enable them to get these really solid pushes in, and I'm sure they'll eventually break the checkpoint. However, oh wow, Annabelle getting a really nice pick on that crab there, which is huge. And this is a really good moment, again, for OSU, actually putting in some good work at that defense.
However, Albie just slipping through the cracks here, finding a few picks here, and this does buy a lot of time for Llamas to just get back into mid, get some map control, and, you know, give Llamas a fighting chance to maybe make it past the first and second checkpoint. However, it does look like they are setting up now with a Trizuka in hand. Raze does pop it and does find one. See if they can find another. Just two, and doesn't quite get the third. However, 2 down is quite a big lead, and let's see if Llamas can make use of this, Mizuno.
Man, Hydra, that was such a good play from Raze. Perfect spot, perfect positioning, a classic Trizuka. I would be scrambling if I was in OSU's shoes right now. Really good play to get this push jump started going. However, Albie on their plat does go down, which I think is a surefire sign that this push for the Llamas is going to come to a close.
Just like that, without much points, unfortunately, on the side of Llamas, OSU does strike back and does neutralize their push here. With specials and paint advantage, I think it's very possible that OSU is finding another push here with another Booyah Bomb in hand. It looks like it's going to be popped. Let's see if anything happens. Enaben does have to drop down. However, I think it is a safety measure to make sure they don't lose any map control here. Slowly trying to push this tower. Zoe finding a pick here. Maybe finds 2, and 2 go down on the side of Llamas and 1 go down on the side of OSU. This fight is not over, and this push is not stopping anytime soon. And it looks like we're fighting for a scramble of the tower control here.
Pretty much, Hydra. Right now it is a scramble. You can kind of see how spread out the Llamas are. They're trying to attack this on multiple fronts, but I think because OSU has that total paint control and the right positioning and specific pairings, you see Annabelle here and Falsetto trying to work together. They have a really good spot to kind of delay here the Llamas. However, Hydro, looks like the Llamas' moment as they're trying to get Zoe off of this tower, but it's not enough. I thought the Llamas were going to have a shot there.
They look like they had all the specials and all the positioning prepared, but that splashdown just negating all that thing, making sure that they could not get close to that tower. And I didn't even notice that the time was that low, and maybe they noticed that they had only a couple seconds to spare, making sure they saved that splashdown to secure them that win.
Really good plays to come back from being down 1-0 for OSU. So now with the match being tied 1-1, both of these teams are in a really interesting position because they're pretty toe-to-toe right now, Hydro, I'd argue. And I think now it might come down to little things at this point. Maybe they have each team has their specific favorite map mode combo that might play to their favor a little bit because these teams are pretty neck to neck right now.
Yeah, it's quite neck to neck. It's actually not. It is not a blowout on either side. You know, it may seem like, oh, one team has a lead, but then about 20 seconds later, a zone could flip or a tower can just push past the checkpoint, and later now you know, oh, now the other team has a lead, and nothing. There's nothing you can really predict here, Mizuno.
Right, nobody is safe. But as we're heading into our third game, Rainmaker Sturgeon, what changes are these teams gonna come up with, if at any? Do you think any changes would come in?
It is a good question because I think Booyah Bomb here might be helpful on the side of OSU just to kind of Booyah Bomb those checkpoints. So Rin might bring back that golden arrow spray. However, I think OSU definitely has a good type of comp on their hand, but I think NCCS Llamas might just think of a few adaptations here, maybe bringing back that dually player to maybe even just, you know, use that mobility to dance around that Rainmaker here, Mizuno.
Ooh, I really like those call outs. Let's see if they come into fruition. Let's see if you're like a fortune teller looking into the future. Heading into game number 3, the loadouts. There's that aerospray like you called out, Hydro. And the dualies and the squeezer. Really good picks here on both of these teams, kind of sticking to what works as we head into this third game here.
Yeah, and I think both backlines are actually going to be really important here. Riley does sport the pencil here. It's such a strong weapon currently, and the custom jet on the side of OSU. Both backlines have really strong positionings, but if one lets up, it could cause mayhem for any of the teams, honestly. However, it does look like that NCCS Llamas does get the pickup on the first Rainmaker. However, it does look like OSU is in position to probably stop this here. Booyah Bomb is being popped, and Zoe just rushing this. However, Albie just goes for a flank here. Mizuno, what do you think is happening?
Oh my goodness, there is a lot of paint here on the side of the Llamas here, right? And they're able to capitalize on that because you just saw Albie just sneaking in there with that brush as they're looking to take this Rainmaker, miss the jump on the grates, and actually falling down to Falsetto's Reef Slider there. The paint is going to be the name of the game for these players to move in with the Rainmaker, Hydro. And now it's going to be OSU's turn to try to go at it.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Paint is going to be the huge thing in here. With how hard these choke points are to get through, having a lot of paint control can allow either members of both teams to just freely move and, you know, essentially contest these choke points without needing any specials or even any bombs. However, it does look like the lead is going to go on the side of OSU currently breaking the checkpoint. However, is going to be stopped right there because of the Trizuka by Raze.
Really good play by Raze there to prioritize the Rainmaker at that moment versus kills, right? You can shoot that Trizuka anywhere, but at the end of the day, you have to prioritize that Rainmaker because that's the objective at the end of the day. Dead Like Me popping off this crab take, though, is a really nice spot, and this is putting on a lot of pressure onto OSU Gray. They're going to be really careful because now it's just Annabelle only alive, and it looks like now the Llama's going to take this checkpoint for free, Hydra.
For free, indeed. And however, it doesn't look like OSU is letting up. They're definitely painting the controllers. See, we are seeing a killer whale on the side of Llamas, but I don't think they could find any picks. They do need to just pick it up and move it a little bit forward to get the lead. And I think they just did that. However, Albie is just not leaving here and does finally go down. However, I think they haven't lost control of mid. So it does look like Llamas have a little bit of fight left in them. However, I think Rin has something to say with this Booyah Bomb.
Great effort there from OSU Gray to staff the bleeding off because that push could have been a lot worse given that it was on that ramp area. That would have been a free swim to gain a ton of points. So now, OSU Gray, they're only down by 1 point. Hydra, that's not a safe lead at all. And there is plenty of room and plenty of game time here for these teams to continue to make a move.
And just like that, I think with those, just like you said, it was not a really high lead, and just like that, the lead does switch back onto the side of ONSU, if I remember correctly, and just like that, the lead goes back, and with around a minute 45 left, Llamas need to find some kind of pick here to maybe get back the lead.
Right, exactly. Picks are going to be the name of the game here for the Llamas, right? They can't keep going 1 or 2 down in these moments here. They're going to need some really good kill power here. Dead Like Me trying to get that kill power going with the crab and the cooler now activated, hopefully giving the Llamas just a little bit more room to work with so that they can try to get back towards the Rainmaker, because Hydro, all I see right now by the Rainmaker is orange, and I don't know how the Llamas are going to be able to move in on that.
Llamas, just like that, they just start to run forward as a group, making sure that if anyone dies, that someone else can pick up the kill here. However, it is stopped by Llamas, or OSU's advances here, and and like you said earlier, the map paint control is playing a big part right now. That OSU definitely had some map control and just allowed them to stall this push for a little bit longer. However, it does look like Llamas is going to get it. Doesn't quite dodge to the reslider, but does get picked by Falsetto in the end. And this push is being contested here, Mizuno.
This is a very scary situation now for ONSU, and all of a sudden the tide flips in their favor, and Zoe's just not able to get the kill because of that blaster's radius and range right there. And so now the lead is now going to fall back into the favor of the Llamas, and that's a little bit more points in their favor. 15 seconds left on the clock, Hydro, and ONSU is going to have to come up with something quick if they want to stay in this specific game.
I think they're going to have to be using some specials here to maybe even push them advantage. However, with 4 seconds left, Albie is just running towards the Rainmaker. Annabeth just running for it and does live here with the help of Rin. However, I don't think it's quite over just yet. Riley does have something to say with it, with the tactic cooler, and Annabeth just going for it here, waiting for this. Waze trying to find a pick. It does finally go down, and if I remember correctly, that does go to the side of Llamas.
That it does, Hydro. Man, I see what they were trying to do here with the Rainmaker, trying to sneak it across that platform, that, what's it called when it flips down like that? The ramp. Like, they were trying to get a few more points. They were trying to get a few more points to sneak through, but they didn't have the paint and they didn't have the player support right by them to protect them. That one definitely ran away from ONSU Gray. That one definitely did.
That one definitely did, but again, we saw it. These teams are quite evenly matched. I think, if I remember correctly, it was about 3 or 4 times where the lead had swapped. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, it's not an easy fight for either team right now, and I think because of that, you know, these upcoming games, if I was OSU, I would just shake it off, you know, think it's like close game, let's focus on the next one here, and maybe see if there's any adaptations you can make it, maybe within your play style.
Agreed, and I think that those adaptations are going to come in with a lot more team plays and special coordination with those team plays as we head into Clan Blitz Robo Ramen. Okay, Hydro, what is your opinion about Robo Ramen?
Ooh, it's very interesting because I'm personally a backliner, so it's very easy to just kind of get rushed here, and I think, if I remember, Annabeth and Riley might have some trouble here, but it's very favorable in the mid stage. However, it's going to be really up to these frontliners to push ahead and get those clams in and create space for the entire team.
I could not agree more. The frontliners are going to have to play key moments here to protect these backliners, especially when the tides could just easily turn in a map mode combo like this.
Yeah, and I think we already are seeing some adaptation. We see an NZAP right now, and I think Llamas is quite similar. However, on the side of ONSU, we see an NZAP. So, I'm curious to see how this adaptation will go.
Agreed, Hydra, right? This is going to be a lot more of an aggressive comp, and they're looking to fight fire right now with just this pure aggression. However, I am a little bit worried about ONSU's defense here. I'm not sure how that will play out specifically. Nonetheless, this looks like a really good start for ONSU, as Falsetto is getting a clean few picks here, making an opening here for ONSU Gray.
ONSU Gray finding their way in the first power climb, however, does get wiped out, so only getting that one power climb. Beautiful defense by the side of Llamas, making sure that, you know, even when pressure is being built onto them, that they do not crack. And just like that, they already have control back of mid. Dead Like Me just going forward, and does get Falsetto. And it may look like that NCCS Llamas has some kind of push here. Let's see if they can use any of their specials here to either stop this on the side of OSU or push this on the side of Llamas.
Man, you think that they had a really good position with how quickly they were moving, but that Booyah Bomb definitely slowed them down, and now you can all see them huddled up in mid, trying to figure out their next play of action right now. That was a really good defensive effort there from ONSU Gray.
ONSU Gray definitely showing that even their offense is just as strong as their defense here, and definitely showing this here today. Map control is being contested by both teams here, and I'm interesting because we did mention earlier that this map control is going to be the huge thing here. Once again, map control is the name of the game, and that NZAP pick is definitely putting in work. Maybe they wanted that bomb and that paint control by an NZAP to maybe even push them a little bit more ahead here, Mizuno.
Right, exactly. And just like these little moments, these little contests are going to be huge in the long run, right? Keeping this mid control is going to make or break how quickly these teams can move into a push. Right now, we see a lot of orange on the map, so this might be a good opportunity for ONSU to try to push just a tad to see what they can get away with against the Llamas. But it looks like it's going to flip back in their favor because Dead Like Me has a great crab position, able to get assists. And I believe 2 kills right there off of that crab. Make that 3! Raze with a huge play following up on that crab tank.
This could be a huge lead for NCCS Llamas. And just like that, even though they did get wiped out, they definitely got quite a few clams in. And let's talk about that crab back. Can I come back for that?
Yes.
That was a really good crab tank by the side of Dead Like Me, essentially forcing their way in to the side of OSU and making sure that, getting those picks and paving a way for NCCS Llamas. However, just like that, I think that, we're finding another scramble here. Rin having to drop down, but is on the flank, so maybe Rin can pull something off here.
Right, I think the name of the game here, paint, paint, paint. Ren trying to back up and realizing that they are alone and they need to come support their teammates with more paint. Getting that Booyah Bomb allows a little bit more room to work with as that splashdown is looking like to get a pick on Dead Like Me. Really good play there. And Ren following up on a kill on Albie. So it looks like now ONSU is able to move in on these really good picks and another Booyah Bomb. This might be their moment here, Hydro.
Falsetto back into their backlines, making sure that this provides an opening for the rest of the team. Does get the pick on Riley, and isn't quite done just yet. They're still going. Ring Slider for the second time, and does get another pick here. Falsetto just is living in their walls, frankly, and does get the lead here. And this might not even be done for the side of ONSU. Does get another power clam in, bring the score to 32-62, Mizuno.
Man, what a persistent effort. Literally, like you said, they were in their walls, for real. Falsetto was in their walls. Really good playmaker from Falsetto right there, allowing that opportunity for their teammates to come in and just force those clams in. And now with a minute left on the clock, Hydro, the Llamas are going to have to come up with something real quick if they want to try to take this game back.
Llamas definitely trying to find some map control, but is starting to lose it, and NSU just fighting back control mid. Zoe with the blaster here, just finding any of these corners here to just poke around. They're playing very safely, but very aggressively still. However, and I think that follow-up is definitely helping. However, Zoe's just going in with the splashdown. Does find 2. This might be another push for ONSU, Mizuno.
Great plays from Zoe right here on this blaster. Look at the pressure here that they're trying to put on this right side to allow a greater opening. Here comes Ren with that Booyah Bomb. Annabin with the ball. They're able to pop over the basket, and here comes the clams. But it looks like the Llamas are going to get that knockout just at the nick of time. And now there goes Albie looking to make a break in on this paint. Hydro, this is their time now. They only have a little bit left on the clock in overtime to try to take this game.
I think there is enough clams on the map. However, 3 go down on the side of Llamas. This could be it. And on a wipeout, I think that might be game as we're waiting for these clams to despawn. It looks like OSU is just going for it anyways, going to make sure that they do not get any more power clams, and that will go to the side of OSU, bringing this to 2-2.
Man, what a good game from OSU. I feel like they found their footing there, Hydro. I feel like they were able to kind of really get themselves into their footing. Like, that was just a really good game from OSU.
Yeah, I think all of them have found like their kind of roles and like how they play with each other here. Rin setting up everyone for a Booyah Bomb. Falsetto kind of keeping that attention away from them. Zoe poking around, making sure if they get, that the enemy team doesn't get in for free and getting any kind of stray picks here and there. And I know I'm forgetting one.
Zoe.
Annabeth. Is it Zoe? No, I think
No,
it's Zoe, or is it
no.
Annabeth?
I think it was Annabeth. No, I think you're right.
Yeah, Annabeth, to make sure that, they're providing support and paint for the team here. So, excellent showing by OSU. We're going to game 5? Can I count? Is it game 5?
You can count Hydro. It is game 5.
Game 5 of Splat Zone's Barnacle. Mizuno, what are we expecting here?
Oh, good question. I think because it's a Splat Zone map, I feel like the type of comp that the Llamas are running are really clean, right? And I feel like if Albie and Dead Like Me could scatter in the right way and provide enough distractions on that right side flank, that little alleyway, provide some openings there and try to make some room onto that left stack, I feel like they have a really good time on this map. But I think that's only if Dead Like Me and Albie are able to kind of get in. So if any way possible their teammates can help leverage them and get them in, I think that would be the key to success for them to stay in this match.
Yeah, and with this, we're gonna see if there's any comp adaptations. And I've been going back to that Jet Squelcher, and I think NCCS Llamas sticking to their tried and true comp here. Let's see how this goes. Both opening here, and let's see what any specials here. What specials do you think are actually going to turn the tides of the battle here, Mizuno?
I'm actually looking at the Rain and the Booyah on the side of the ONSU Gray. I feel like the Booyah can provide those opportunities to kind of lock out specific chokes and allow ONSU Gray to move in, right? Like dropping it right on that stack, for example, and allowing Falsetto to get in. That's a perfect example of one really powerful and impactful special that ONSU can provide.
However, I think Llamas have something to say about that, and making sure that, even if ONSU are going into the base, they are not getting it for free. Riley does have to stall this zone here, and is actually quite doing it well, getting a lot of paint here for the teammates to come back in. And just like this, we're already down counter to 57 on the side of ONSU, but just like that, Llamas get the flip here. So this could be the potential for Llamas to just get this flip here. Crab looking really ready here. This might be a time to pop specials for the side of Llamas here and maybe extend their lead. Or
I'm getting worried about ONSU right now. Falsetto being forced to push that Reef Slider a little bit too early, and now it's just Zoe all alone on zone. Thankfully, Rin is looking to come in here and back up Zoe to capture the zone, and that definitely could have ended up a lot worse for ONSU Gray. But it feels like now the tide has flipped in their favor, and they played a really good defensive front. And now it looks like the Llamas are on the back foot, and Albie is trying to get back in here with these killer whales.
Zoe definitely showing what they could do here, but Albie just shutting them down. Albie is just going for the back. Does finally go down, but this might have been just enough time for Llamas to maybe kind of regroup themselves with this Crab here. Dead Like Me trying to find any more picks. We're just finding a 1v1 over on the left side. However, it does go down. Falsetto just going for more picks here, just scattering the team of NCCS Llamas with 20 seconds left. This could be the end of the game, but I think NCCS have one more push to make something happen.
Man, but ONSU, they're doing a really good lockout situation right here. And with that game comes to a close. Man, Hydro, the ONSU Gray, they really took advantage of the Llamas' staggered respawns and just did not let them proceed to the zone.
Yeah, and just like that, they, in their keys to victory, they mentioned that maintaining positional advantage was going to be something so important to them, and because they did make use of that advantage, they actually managed to stagger Llamas quite a bit there, especially in the last couple 30 seconds to bring them that lead here.
Exactly. Now we're at a game point situation in favor of ONSU Gray. The Llamas are not done yet though. They've put up one heck of a fight throughout this entire match. What do you think is running through their minds right now, Hydro? I feel like there could be so many things that they're thinking about right now.
It's a lot of things right now, because next up is going to be Tower Hagglefish, and you're thinking, maybe do we want to switch up any comps? Do we want to bring in maybe a splash, or do we want to continue using this splat dualies for a more aggressive Crab? And maybe just try to maybe think of some comp changes more, but maybe playstyle changes. Maybe playing off of maybe more picks that Llamas get, and playing to their own keys to victory that they mentioned, making 2v1s instead of 1v1s here, Mizuno.
I agree, Hydro. Given how quickly both of these teams readied up, I think they're kind of sticking to what's been working so far and what they feel comfortable with. So now it's just the true raw gameplay. How are they going to play as a team and try to work together? As we head into game number 6, game point looming ahead of ONSU Gray. Hydro, I feel like this is going to be a wild match.
This could be a wild match. I could feel the pressure from here that, both teams are definitely looking for this win right now. And we're seeing how both teams are kind of playing steady right now, but trying to find any opening. And Dead Like Me does go down on the side here, fighting a 2v1. Great job by the ONSU to find that that it was a 2v1 and allow it essentially for this push to happen here. However, it does look like it's going to be a scrappy fight, and ONSU is not getting this for free.
You are so right, Hydro. This was a very scrappy fight, and that now finally the Llamas are able to kind of flip back the tides and get a little bit more leeway. They're looking to gain a little bit of that mid control and trying to, I think, kind of gauge how ONSU is going to proceed at this moment, because I think both of these teams right now, it's like a tug of war for the middle of the map.
Rin definitely stalling that Booyah Bomb, maybe just to see what opening was better there, and Falsetto just essentially creating this opening that Rin just could kind of hold the Booyah Bomb there and create an opening for their entire team. However, it does look like more orange on the side of this map, so again, paint is going to be very big here, and just like that, I think we're going to see a lot more specials being thrown here. Riley does go down, and is 2 down on the side of Llamas. However, I think Dead Like Me does have something to say about this with this crab being popped, and just like that, the ties go back into neutral.
But it is a little concerning that the Llamas are a bit staggered right now. Dead Like Me was able to come in clutch with that crab, but Raze and Riley doesn't need to get back into this map because they just went down earlier. So, a really good pick onto Albie there, on two down on both sides of the map. This is just fight after fight at this point. So the Llamas have recovered at least and kind of evened the playing field a little bit. But ONSU Gray is not going to fall easily.
Both of them are falling. Both of them are making sure that the enemy falls. However, I think it's going to be down to map positioning now. As long as any of the teams can find any map positioning, like Zoe here finding any pick on this ledge here, this could be huge for ONSU here. Essentially, as long as they can find some map control here, as long as they're fighting this scrappy fight, maybe, they're finding some advantage here. However, Albion's, just throwing all of this out the window, making sure that, I'm getting into their backline. I'm not letting this game go and let OSU have this lead here.
Right, Bray is trying to support their teammate right now, looking to move the tower back into mid. Really good teamwork there from Raze and Albie as the cooler is popped and the Trizuka Raze is holding on to, ready to launch at a moment's notice. Albie lurking here off to the side, ready to strike at the moment's notice. There's just so many little things being set up right now, Hydro, that I can't even tell what these teams are planning or even thinking about.
Both teams are just trying to find any form of control here, and like I said, we're just seeing trades back and forth here. I don't know. Actually, Zoe's just going forward and does find a pick here, and I think OSU is slowly getting map control here, actually. With the Reslider being popped, if they find a pick here, this could be huge, but does get back traded. So I think while ONSU does have a slight advantage, I think it's just going to easily be flipped back here, actually.
It's crazy. It seems like every time I fear that the Llamas are going to get a huge push on them, it's like you see Raze and Dead Like Me pop off their cooler, pop off the crab tank, and come in clutch. Really good place. And then you see Riley does it, getting some really good picks and assists here. And now all of a sudden, look, the Llamas are able to make a push, and they finally reach this checkpoint here, Hydro.
They finally reached a checkpoint. However, I don't know if they have enough tools to break it. However, Ray is definitely fighting maybe a pressure here and popping this Trizuka. Maybe, actually, indeed, finding maybe Llamas is just trying to maybe keep this position here. However, I think ONSU is fighting back and does finally win that battle of control of checkpoint. And now it's just Llamas trying to find their way back in. This might actually be a chance for ONSU to further the lead. Falsetto going for the Reef Slider and does pop it. Booyah Bomb enough paint to back them up. And this could be, crazy for ONSU here to extend their lead here.
Not if Albie has something to say about it, though. You just cannot get rid of Albie. They keep flanking. They keep coming out as like a surprise gotcha moment. And again, and OSU is just not able to break this checkpoint yet.
Again, both teams. Oh, wait, actually, maybe map control. I'm seeing a lot of orange. Again, Albie, why do you gotta keep messing what I'm saying with? Albie just going for the backline and does stall time for the team. And Dead Like Me following up with that crab pressure with 9 seconds left. Let's see if Llamas can actually find something here, Mizuno.
Right, it's going to come down to the wire here. It looks like Race is hopping on this tower. Oh no, but there's the Booyah Bomb, Hydro! The Booyah Bomb didn't hit the tower, but it doesn't matter, as OSU is going to take the game and then take the set in a close 4-2 matchup. Holy smokes, that was like a whirlwind.
You know, 4-2, and I think those were 6 very close games. Was it 6? I can count. 6 very close games, back and forth. You know, that game 6, we just saw that, you know, both teams were like within 10-ish points of each other. You know, I think it could have gone either way. Props to both teams, and congrats to OSU to win the set overall. And I think, are we doing the last match?
Good question. I am not sure. Usually it's very common for teams to kind of play all 7 as a way to kind of play more games and just, you know, kind of do, I mean, more games for the league and just more games in general. I just keep saying more games because why not? I am not sure at this moment. Yes, according to the producer, there is a yes.
All right, so we might be seeing a few swaps from either teams, maybe, you know, getting a few members who maybe haven't exactly got a chance to play all their matches, or maybe something that they had planned prior. You know, it's like, oh, you know, maybe you were planning to play Rainmaker Humpback, which is going to be the next match, and now you finally get to showcase your talents off on the stream here. However, do you think we're going to see any changes, actually, Mizuno?
Oh, see, this could go in 2 different ways. Either the haha funny, let's joke around and not take it seriously, or B, let's actually take this very seriously and play it as if this was an actual game involved in the match, right? This is a true Game 7. Judging how quickly these teams are confirming, I think they're just going to take it as is and just get going because, I mean, hey, who doesn't want more Splatoon?
Yeah, and I think that's great. You know, with the pressure off now that this is no longer any points, it's for free-for-all, we might actually see some more, even more creative or even more brave plays. Actually, we're already going to see some changes on the comps of side of ONSU, and I think and on the side of Llamas as well.
Man, both of these teams got me there for real. I thought they readied up so quickly, I figured, oh, no changes, and then they proceed to almost completely revolutionize both of their comps. But anyways, Hydro, looking at the bloodbath in the middle of the map, it looks like ONSU is going to slightly edge out on this one, coming 3 on top here.
A bloodbath indeed, and you know, it was already 3 down on the side of Llamas, and Falsetto just getting that checkpoint already quite easily here. And I don't know if Llamas is finding a way back in. However, the Dynamo, speaking of, has popped the cooler and is looking to extend this push here. Let's see if ONSU can like continue this push here, but I think NCCS Llamas have the tools to make sure that that does not happen.
Right, they gotta start getting those specials now. We see those special tickers winding up slowly, so that way they have some tools on the toolbox. Oh no, but 2 go down, and I know that they have their specials ready. So now it's just this one Trizuka, which also goes down. Here comes the splashdown that gets the wipeout, but not until OSU gets down to 6 points. Oh my gosh, Hydro.
Annabeth just running for it and managing to get the 6 points is actually insane. However, you know, I think this may be a chance for Llamas to just strike back, you know, potentially even get a knockout here. However, I think it's going to be really rough for them. They just picked up the Rainmaker, meaning they will lose 1 special here. However, I think if they coordinate their specials just enough and play their fights just correctly, I think Llamas still have a chance in this.
Agreed. Nothing is truly safe in Rainmaker Humpback. Nonetheless, however, we do see ONSU having some good control of mid here. You see Zoe and Rin taking down Dead Like Me in a nice killer combo there. Raze is putting on a lot of pressure here with that Trizuka, and however is trying to avoid Zoe here on this right side. And it just seems right now the Llamas are just kind of stuck.
Llamas are kind of stuck, however. I think they are starting to get slight map control here. However, I think Red has something to say with that, and is being forced back a little bit here. Falsetto just picking up the Rainmaker, seeing if they can find an opening here by themselves. I wonder if Llamas have the tools to stop this, and I think Albie is just going to run for it, and does get the Rainmaker here. However, the trees are going back and forth. I'm not going to say anything until they're completely done yet, because apparently anything I say will just be completely negated by Albie or Zoe or any of both teams, actually, to be honest.
Hydra, I see you've discovered the commentator's curse.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah,
But
it's been great.
nonetheless, we do see ONSU here attempt the Rainmaker push here with in Anabi's hands. Nothing's gonna come through. As Dead Like Me just casually getting 2 really cool kills there. I mean, that was just a really cool splashdown. Cool, Llamas, you guys are awesome.
Splashdown is very deadly, actually, on this map sometimes. Like, if a team can find just, like, any tight corner and the enemy team doesn't have anywhere to go, I mean, like most splashdowns, you're gonna fight a lot of casualties, I guess you could say. But however, ONSU definitely pushing their lead here, keeping this keep it on Llama's side of the map and just slowly painting it forward. I don't know, Mizuno. This is looking pretty dominant, but I think, however, Llamas are finding. Yep, there it goes. Goes for a pick here, and once again, maybe stabilizing the position here, Mizuno.
Right, Ren picking up this Rainmaker, trying to find a clean way in, but I mean, these Llamas players are just coming in hot. They refuse for this Rainmaker to go down, and they're able to get 2 down and hopefully make a little bit more breathing room. But they need to get some of these ONSU players just out of this left corner here, Hydro. They're just able to keep fishing and keep spamming that area like relentlessly at this point.
However, Dead Like Me going in does get a few picks of their own and make sure that, they actually have back map control. However, Zoe just has nothing to say with that and does get the Clash Blaster of, the AoE kind of thing here. So map control is going back into the side of ONSU, but I think Llamas are just still contesting this and trying to find any picks. Specials are being flung by the side of Llamas here, and I think we're back in a neutral state here, but it's gonna be favored in about 2 seconds probably.
No kidding. Falsetto trying to do this 1v1 off to the side here against Dead Like Me. Both of these duelist players just not giving aid. It's like a battle to the finish, and finally Falsetto getting some help there from their teammate. And I mean, I'm just back and forth. I can't even call out who's dying because everybody's just going down so quickly.
I've said this before. You get a trade, enemy team gets a trade, everyone gets a trade in Div 6. And just like that, with 5 seconds left, I think Llamas still have a chance here. They have one more chance to actually do something here. However, let's see if they actually do get that off. 2 down on the side of ONSU. This could be the opening that Llamas needed here, Mizuno.
Right, exactly. This 2-down situation is really good, and Dead Like Me is helping out their teammate Raze get it in. Falsetto, though, coming from behind with that reef slider just out of nowhere, and creates that pinch situation to close out the match. Man, ONSU, they're looking pretty good today.
They're looking pretty good, and I think I have to double check it. Does that make them undefeated in their group? I think it does. Bring him to actually a 4-0 for the group stage, and good job to both teams once again. I think with NCCS Llamas, you do have to check out, see if they are still available for playoffs. However, good job to both teams, and well played, everyone.
Agreed. The Llamas played a fantastic run this season, and this match also demonstrated how strong of a team they are. They have all these players are standouts. I stopped talking about them throughout this match. So, I mean, bravo to the Llamas. They really showed off how exciting of a team they are.
Yeah, and just like that, as the season is coming to a close, don't forget to, we're just seeing how these, maybe a few points of these, or a few wins, a few losses here or there can maybe change the tide of, of these standings, and maybe seeing who makes it to playoffs here, Mizuno.
Exactly. And folks, we'll find out more soon, very soon, as this league comes to a close. But nonetheless, Hydro, I think our time here is done. Where can the good folks in the chat find you today?
Unfortunately, I don't have a social media that you can find me, but do continue watching the CCA. It's been a blast to, just be a part of, and, help support, you guys should help support, the CCA. They're just awesome people, and, help provide a show for everyone here. So, make sure you keep watching them. And, Mizuno, where can they find you?
Thanks, Hydro. Folks, you can find me at Twitter and Twitch, mizu_in0. But you'll also find me mostly here in the CCA channel. So be sure to stay tuned and stay here, folks. Don't go anywhere. because we're about to have another matchup ready for you all tonight. A Div 2 matchup. A very high stakes game here for both teams in Division 2. So don't go anywhere, anyone, and we'll be right back with more CCA League.